The New York Mets have another marquee signing. Yes, this is not a joke because late last night, news broke that the New York Mets were signing Japanese ace Kodai Senga to a 5-year deal worth $75 million. Overall, good deal for the Mets, good deal for Senga. We're going to cover it right here on Bleacher Brawls. My name is Derek, and let's get straight into it. First things first, to know if you know anything about Kodai Senga, it's one thing. Fastball splitter. That is the main combo that he's going to go to, and it is a combination that has proven to work in the big leagues, especially in the last couple of years. A prime example of it was someone who was a free agent just last year and got a big deal from the Blue Jays. It's Kevin Gausman, prime example of the fastball splitter combination working. Kodai Senga is going to bring that fastball splitter combination, and he also has his third slash fourth pitch. He has a slider and a cutter. It's kind of like one pitch that he can manipulate to be a little bit faster with less movement, or be a little bit slower with more movement. It's the same pitch, just thrown at different speeds with either more or less movement. So you can kind of count it as 3 pitches or 4 pitches, depending on if you want to differentiate between the cutter and the slider, or just call it one pitch. But the main thing is going to be that fastball splitter combo. He's going to join that Mets rotation with Verlander and Scherzer at the top, also Jose Quintana in there, and Carlos Carrasco. It's going to be a very, very good Mets rotation. And Kodai Senga he was good in 2022. Really, really good in Japan in the NPB. He had a 1.89 ERA. That is 11-6 record in 148 innings, and was 23 games for Senga. Just a solid year overall. I mean, he's the guy that some people are saying he might be the best Japanese pitcher since Shohei to come over. And if you're not counting Shohei, maybe even since Darvish. That says a lot. Obviously Shohei, Darvish younger when they came over than him, but he has a proven track record in the NPB. Is the NPB the level of the MLB? No, it's not. But it's a much higher level than the AAA, in my opinion, and in most people's opinions, it's a higher level than AAA. So it's not. It's almost like quadruple A in a sense. It's almost like quadruple A. Now, if you look at this from the Met side of things, it's a great deal. I think that there are some teams that might have even wanted to go 6 years on Senga, or even maybe if they only want to go 5 years, more than $15 million a season. There's a couple rumors floating around. Some teams might want to go 6 or 7 years. A couple teams might want to get up towards that $20 million a year mark. But it seemed like Senga wanted to go somewhere where he wants to win, and where he can win, and the New York Mets are the perfect fit for that. They are a team that can go and try and win. Right now, they have the guys to do it. And now with the Senga deal, he doesn't have an opt-out after the 3rd year. So if stuff starts to turn a little bit south for the Mets, and he just truly wants to go somewhere he can win, he can opt out. His free agency, he has a no-trade clause. So to me, that just screams he wants to win, and going to a team like the New York Mets, it's a perfect deal for him. You can't complain about it, because it looks like he just wants to go and win, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. That's how I feel about it. I think the Mets got a great deal from this. Steve Cohen is blowing by the Steve Cohen tax, which was implemented when he got control of the Mets. We know a lot of owners didn't want Steve Cohen to become the owner of the New York Mets. Why? Because this is what's going to happen. Steve Cohen will spend whatever money it takes to win a World Series. His total payroll, with the luxury tax included right now, and also considering Senga's deal, is going to be $421 million. As of now, that doesn't mean they could still sign other guys and bump that up even more. Steve Cohen is making every single other owner in the MLB look cheap. And it's not just like the small markets. He's making big markets. He's making the Red Sox look cheap. Even the Dodgers look cheap because they're trying to get under the luxury tax. He's making a big market teams look cheap too. It's not just a small market teams like the A's or the Pirates or the Rays. He's making every single other team look cheap. The Yankees payroll could be $100 million less than the Mets, and the Yankees And the Yankees are going to be over. Are probably going to be over the luxury tax. They will be over, and yet they still might be $100 million short of what the Mets are doing. $100 million short of the Mets. That tells you how much Steve Cohen wants to win. That means it's a Mets fan. The Mets are his baby. He wants to go and win now. And Steve Cohen's a little bit different. The Padres are burning a hole in their pocket because they want to spend money and get a guy that's going to help them win. Steve Cohen isn't just chucking money at people because he wants to win. He's also being strategic about it. I think Kodai Senga, it's a very good signing. I think he has the potential to be a very good number 2 in the MLB. Maybe even a borderline ace if he really, really works out. But there could be a transition period. So what do? Stick him in a rotation with Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer, where at best he's going to be the number 3. And also, too, Jose Quintana was very good last year between the Pirates and the Cardinals. So overall, I think it's a great signing for the Mets. I still think they have some bullpen pieces they might want to bring in. You can never have enough pitching, especially in the bullpen. Can never have enough. I don't know about position play. There are some rumors. I know John Heyman, who is just Boris's mouthpiece, is saying that the Mets want Correa. I don't know how much I believe it, but at this point, it wouldn't shock me. It just would not shock me. Steve Cohen wants to win. He wants the Mets to win a World Series, and he will spend whatever money it takes to go and get the World Series for that Mets team. And as a player, you love it because you know you're going to have a chance to win a World Series. And that's what makes the Mets such an interesting team from a free agent perspective. You know you will get a chance to go and win a World Series. You know it. This Mets team did not bring in Justin Verlander and didn't bring back Brandon Nimmo on that 8-year deal to not try and win a World Series now. They're trying to win a World Series now. That's why they brought in Scherzer last year. That's why they brought in Eddie Escobar and Mark Canha and all those guys. They are trying to win a World Series. That's why they re-signed Edwin Diaz to the first 9-digit deal for a relief pitcher. They are trying to win a World Series. This is another great signing for the Mets that is going to get them closer to that goal of winning a World Series. Obviously, when you hit the postseason, anything can happen. That could be taken as a positive or negative saying. Because, truly anything can happen. But the better team you have, the better chances you have of being able to make a deep run to the postseason. And the NL East is going to be a very competitive division. The Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, very, very competitive division. And the only one team in that division is going to get a bye to the divisional round. The other two are going to have to go through the wild card. You don't want to be the team that goes to the wild card. You better show up for the regular season. I think the Mets are putting themselves in a good spot. And I don't know if they'll be favorites because I'm not 100% sure. But just off the top of my head right now, they feel like favorites at the very least. They feel like favorites for the division. Now, what does that mean? Well, there's a couple things it can mean for the Mets. They're going to have very high expectations. They're going to be expected to reach those expectations. If they don't reach those expectations, and not necessarily just this year, but next year, they fail to win a World Series while spending all this money, it could bring some questions. But if you are a Mets fan, this is an offseason you're very happy about. They aren't overspending like crazy, especially long-term deals. The only one I'm a little concerned about might be Brandon Nimmo in the sense of 8 years. It's a little tiny bit worrisome, but it's not like a massive concern, in my opinion. It's not a massive concern. The only deal you might have massive concern is Frankie Lindor just because of the length of it. But at the end of the day, you win a World Series. It makes you feel a little bit better about the rest of that deal because even if the back end of these deals don't pan out, you won a World Series with these guys, and that is what is important. It's like David Price for the Red Sox. Me as a Red Sox fan, can't stand the David Price contract and that they signed into it, but I wouldn't trade away that contract for not winning a World Series. I would not. I would take that contract for the World Series it helped bring. If you're the Mets, you're going out and sign all these guys, you win a World Series, none of these contracts matter anymore. You won your World Series. If you win 2, even better. That's the goal for this New York Mets team. They're trying to be the Kings of New York. They are spending like it. Now can they perform like it on the field? It's a big ask. But if anyone's going to get the job done, it'll be Steve Cohen leading this Mets team, spending the money that they need to bring in the players that they need to make a run at it. And I have confidence that the Mets team will be very, very good next year again. So, overall thoughts on the signing? Love the signing. I wish Kodai Senga was going to wear a Red Sox uniform, but I love the signing. I'm super, super high on Senga. I like him a lot. Fastball splitter combos worked very good the last couple of years. Look at a guy like Kevin Gausman and how it's really turned his career around. I think Senga might have some transition time to the big leagues, but might have a small, like a month or two transition time, but he will get it figured out, and I think he'll be a very, very good pitcher in this Mets rotation. Overall, love this signing for the Mets. But I think that's a great place to end this thing, though. Make sure to check out all the links in the description. Bleach Brawls website, podcast, Instagram, and Twitter, plus all the crew's Twitters. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we post. Going to be minimum 2 videos a week, plus all the free agent signings, big trades, whatever, all the big stuff that happens in the offseason. We will have it covered, and the videos will be up as soon as possible after the news breaks, probably normally around an hour after the news breaks. So stay tuned for those. Unless it's a late night signing like this, it'll be up first thing in the morning, 7 or 8 Eastern in the morning. So stay tuned for all that stuff. Let us know in the comments thoughts on this deal. And that's it. Thanks for tuning into Bleach Brawls. My name is Derek, and I'll see you next time.